Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi washabihi ajma'in. Allahumma anfa'na bima 'allamtana wa 'allimna ma yanfa'una wa zidna ilman bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik ala sayyidina Muhammad al-Fatih lima ughliq wal khatim lima sabaq nasiril haqq bil haqq wal hadi ila siratikal mustaqim wa ala alihi washabihi haqqa qadrihi wa miqdarihi al-azim. Allahumma anfa'na bima 'allamtana wa 'allimna ma yanfa'una wa zidna ilman bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Rabbi zidna ilman warzuqna fahman. Alhamdulillah, tonight is our 8th class, and we are going through the book Ayyuhal by Imam Ghazali, which has been translated by Tobias Mayer as Letter to Disciple. I think there's a copy of it. If there's no copy, then we can order more from Singapore. That's cheaper. And according to the course outline, sort of, we are supposed to go through this number 8. Knowledge without action. I think some of you might not have this. Next class will distribute knowledge without action 2. We have discussed this knowledge many times without actions, like the 3rd class on the 3rd October also we discussed. So this time we just we just defer it to other classes because it's just the same thing. But Imam Ghazali keep on repeating the same thing again and again, just to put emphasis on the students. For those who perhaps new to this class, let me just rewind a bit or recapitulate what we have studied or what is the book's all about. Imam Ghazali wrote Ayyuhal. Can someone get me the book on top of that? There's a book there, I think, a translation of it. Yeah, I think there's, okay, thank you. Yes, this is the book by Imam Ghazali. Not really this book, but this is a translation of the book Ayyuhal, translated by Tobias Mayer. And it is a letter written by a student of him to seek his advice on what he should do for the rest of his life after studying with Imam Ghazali for so many years. He's not a beginner, he's an advanced student, but after studying with Imam Ghazali so many years, he still feels that Imam Ghazali, if the teacher, the master, could advise him the best, the gist of what one should do in their life. So because of that, Imam Ghazali wrote this book, which is called Letter to a Disciple. I chose this book because this is one of the works written by Imam Ghazali at his last age, or at the last period of his age, meaning that this is the sum up of all the knowledge that he has, and he come up with this thing. So it will be very interesting if you go through and read it. So this is the 3rd class, and I skip the knowledge without action because I want to go to more important one, which is on we come back to this after this because we're going to see again during our, perhaps on the 17th, on this somewhere again we're going to discuss about acting knowledge that you already know on the 22nd. I want to talk on this struggle against Nafs, which Shira made the poster on it. I've given also the handout. If you have this, please refer to this, because this will make my discussion easier and quite systematic. I spend hours to do this. If I talk just freely like this, I'm afraid that I will not be able to relay this to you within 1 hour that we have, or 45 minutes now, because this is very crucial and very important. And please spare some time, read this, and we go through it very quickly. If you have anything, just let me know, because this class, as I mentioned before, is not a motivational class, just like some people perhaps conduct to motivate. This is more like a course that I expect from you to know what we are discussing, not for you to just like some people go for ceramah, they feel motivated, but at the end when you ask them what do you get from the lecture, oh, very good, very nice, but what do you get? Oh, yeah, it's nice, good, but what is it? I don't know, but I feel very good. So I don't want you to feel like that. You get this, and please have this in your mind, and when we deal with our life, we have this in our mind. So before we talk about Nafs, if you look at in the Quran and in the Hadith, the word Nafs, I think previously I already mentioned, there are 4 words that have been used very regularly: An-Nafs, Al-Aql, Al-Qalb, and Ar-Ruh. We'll come to that later. And before you talk about Nafs, Nafs is basically soul with body. We human beings are composed of soul and body. When the soul is alone, it is called a soul. When body is alone, it's called body. But when soul, our ruh, merge with the soul, it's called Nafs. It is called Nafs. I will explain to you later, but this is basically the simple understanding of Nafs. Sorry? Yeah, Nafs is the Arab word. They sometimes they translate it as self. Nafs, self. In English, sometimes they use as self. Nafs, if you look at the book, sometimes in English they translate it as Nafs, self. It's yourself, because ultimately yourself is not your physical. Your physical body will perish when you die, but what remains is your soul. So it's your soul. Okay, so before we talk about Nafs, let us look at the question about man first. You see, there is no question, number 2, there is no question more crucial to man than the question, what is man? What is man? What is human being? This question has, people have asked this so many, have been asking this long time ago. Even the philosophers, the scholars, the artists, they've been asking this, what is man? What is his nature? And then it goes on. Why we are created? What is our origin? Where are we going? What is the purpose of our creation? They keep on asking this. But they never came to conclusion. All theories emerge. Man is this, man is that. But they are just like blind men trying to describe an elephant by groping in the dark. Groping in the dark, you just touch the parts, the body of elephant, and you say man is like this, man is like that. So you'll find that so many interpretations, so many definitions of man. Of course, human beings cannot define man, because they are not created. They have not created themselves. So the best to define who man is the creator of man. That is our God, of course. So you look at here, for example, Aristotle came up with man is rational animal. Plato came up with man as spirit caged in body, wanting for salvation. Shakespeare said man is full of tragedies. Sigmund Freud, if you are a psychologist, you are familiar with this. Man is someone who is jealous. jealous of his father and wanting to, with his mom and so on and so forth. So scholars from the past try to understand, try to define man, but they all went astray, and they come up with all sorts of conclusion. And of course, the theory of Charles Darwin, for example, evolution theory, and evolution theory. If you know, Darwin believes that man came into existence through evolutionary process of ape-like animal. They use it, ape, you can say chimpanzee, how you pronounce it? Chimpanzee? Yeah, chimpanzee, and many other things that, because they said, according to Darwin, after so many years, thousands of years, because of environment, because of situation, pressing situation, so the evolution took place. So people change, just like other things. They said in animals as well. Animals in this place different because of the weather, cold weather. You have different type of animal. So he feels that just like human being also emerged from animal or chimpanzee like that. Of course, we don't accept this. And in the West also, there's another theory, they call it creationism. So you have evolution, but not people believe in this evolutionary theory of Darwin. There are also Western people who believe that man or human beings are created. This is basically those who are from religious background. So this is the backdrop of what the Western world or what the other worlds are doing. And then for us, we believe that this idea of what man, who man, where man goes, this is called sam'iyat. You know sam'iyat? This is the issues, or this is the matters of sam'iyat. Sam'iyat is matters. Sam'iyat. Okay. This is the unseen. We say this kind of issues is unseen issues, sam'iyat, heavenly issues, matters that you don't know, you cannot speculate, you don't understand. In other words, your mind cannot grasp. People think that our mind can think of everything. No. Please don't forget that your mind is just like your organs, other parts of your body. Your eyes, you have limitation. You can see a certain distance, 50 meters, 100 meters, and then you cannot see already. Your ears also. You can hear certain things also. You can't hear ants walking, can you? No, you cannot. Your eyes, can you see dust? No, you can't see. Because there is limitation. Just like your akal also. Your akal. Your intellect, your akal. Your mind. Your mind also has limitation. You can think of this thing and that thing, but you cannot think of where do you come from? Why are you created? Who is your God? You don't know this. For sure you don't know. You will never know. Until Allah send messenger, Allah send prophets, Allah tell you, then you know. So that's why you need God, you need messengers, you need the prophets to tell you. Because human mind cannot grasp this, cannot think of this. Wow, what the whole point of I being here in this world. So you need this. This is called sam'iyat. What are sam'iyat? Those things, the purpose of your creation, human nature. If God didn't tell you that you are soul and body, do you know that? You don't know. But God tells you, وَنَفَخْتُ فِي مِنْ رُوحِي. Then Allah breathed His soul to you. So you know all these things. And you don't know heaven, paradise, for example. Do you know this? The existence of paradise? You don't know. The existence of hell? Don't know. The grave? You don't know. We don't know. Angels? We don't know so many things. And these are things called sam'iyat, things that unseen. So just like our existence as well, our nature, we don't know. We cannot understand it. What we know, when our mother gave birth to us, that's all that we know. Prior to that, we don't know. But Allah tells us everything. Before we come to this world, if you look at this, our journey here, I don't know whether I follow the script or not. But doesn't matter since it comes to my mind now before I forget. You see, we have come to so many places actually. This is where we are. This is world. This is where we are now. This is our world. Me. Oh, world here. Okay, you are here now. We are here. But before we are here, we were in what? We were in womb, in our mother's womb. And before we were in the mother's womb, where were we? We were in another world. They call world of spirit. Yeah, world of roh. Actually, we begin from here. We never realized that. Do you remember you were here before? No. Here you remember. Even here you didn't remember. One more here. You don't remember you were here, you're kicking your mother's womb. You're playing football, netball, whatnot there. So now, we were here. Previously, we were here. How do we know? Prophet told us. Through Allah SWT. So, when we are here, when man is here, man needs to recall that he was previously here. You know, when we were in the alam roh, in the spiritual roh, the first until the last roh that will be brought to this world, the first roh until the last roh before the day of Qiyamah, Allah gathered all the roh and Allah asked, Alastu bi Rabbikum, am I not your Lord? 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 God, am I not your Lord? All the ruh at this point of time, qalu bala shahidna. No, God asked them. When God gathers all the spirits, you know, the spirits, the ruh that never brought into existence now, they are already in the ruh, alam arwah. They are already there. It's just a matter of time that Allah put them inside their respective mother's womb. But they are already there. Even the ruh, the last ruh of the last person on earth is already there. It's just that he or she is not here. Okay? So all ruh were gathered at one point during that time. They call it the day of Alastu because the question was Alastu. Am I not your Lord? God asked here. You can look at the Quran. وَإِذْ أَخَذَ رَبُّكَ مِنْ بَنِي آدَمَ مِنْ ظُهُورِهِمْ ذُرِّيَّتَهُمْ وَأَشْهَدَهُمْ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ أَلَسْتُ بِرَبِّكُمْ. Can't remember. I think Baqarah. وَإِذْ أَخَذَ رَبُّكَ مِنْ بَنِي آدَمَ مِنْ ظُهُورِهِمْ. Yeah, this is God ask you. God asked Surah Al-A'raf. Surah Al-A'raf 172. 7172, yes. God asked us, am I not your Lord? All the creations, all the spirits, whether Muslims now or non-Muslims, when they were at this moment of time, they say, they admit, they confess, they acknowledge, Bala Shahidna, verily God. You know, in Quran, when the word Bala in Arabic, when the word Bala used, is very strong emphasis. Because there are so many yes in Arabic. They have Na'am, there is this, but when Bala, it is very strong. Bala Shahidna. Yes, we bear witness. So this is when you are at this point of time. But when you are brought to this world, and when this spirit merge with the body, then you become Muslims and non-Muslims, obedient and disobedient. But when you are at this point of time, everyone acknowledge God. So that's why people say, in Islam we feel that if you're born when you're small, baby, you are not punished. You see, why? Because in reality, all spirit surrenders to God at this moment. But when you are grown up, when you have grown up, and you have the ability to think, to ponder, and you follow wrong way, you'll be punished for that. Okay? So this one thing that we have to remember. I put it here. I don't know whether I put it here or not. I just want to mention here is that our existence here in this world start from here. And then we go to Barzakh. Okay? This is our next destination. We like it or not, we remember or not here, it is true. It's happened. Oh, I can't remember. Of course you can't remember. It's not important whether you remember or not, but God told you about that. Your mom can testify that you were in your mom's womb. I can't remember. No, it's not important. I can't recall. Of course you couldn't recall. That's not an issue. That's not an issue. That's not an issue. It's reality. And we'll be meeting this Barzakh also. Okay? And this meeting Barzakh through death. Okay? And then we enter the world, the Akhirah here. Barzakh is the bridge between this world and Akhirah. After this, and then we go paradise. Inshallah. Baik doa. Okay? So this is our journey. This is our timeline actually. And we have to remember this very well. Because if we don't remember this, if we don't take seriously about this, we think that this is our destination. This is not our destination. We have so many places to go yet until we reach here. I'm not talking about here, we have Sirat here. We have so many things here. We have Mahshar here. I'm not talking about this because this is all covered under Akhirah. There are so many more places you are going. How the Prophet. So if we look at this timeline, then we know that our life here is what? Is temporary. That's why the Prophet says, Kun fid dunya ka'annaka gharibun aw abirus sabil. behave in the world, in this world, as if you are just a stranger or someone that passing by. You see? So this is very important. We have that in mind. My life here is not my destination. My destination is here. This is my ultimate destination. This is my destination. I'm going here. But what I do here will determine whether I can enter here or not. I can only enter paradise if I behave well here. Ad-dunya mazra'atul akhirah. The world is the place for you to cultivate, and you harvest it here in paradise. This is the world. But the Prophet says, the path to the world, the path to paradise is full of things that your nafs don't like it. This is where it comes, your nafs. Yeah? The path to paradise is full of things that your nafs don't like it. But the path to hell, full of things that your nafs like it. Full of things that your nafs like it. This is where you come to the point, struggle with your business. It's already more, we're about to finish. I'm just touching the topic only. Okay? So, that's the introduction. So, I'm not going to read the rest. Because we don't have much time. What I want to tell you is about the terms that we often use and people keep on asking, what is this? I don't understand. You see, if you look at Imam Ghazali's works, especially on several works of him, this is 4 terms. I think we are at number 14 now, Nature of Man. You look at here, we have 4 terms here. We have 4 terms: Ruh, Qalb, Nafs, Aqal. You see, Allah SWT says in the Quran, وَمَا أُوتِيتُ يَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الرُّوحِ قُلِ الرُّوحُ مِنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّي وَمَا أُوتِيتُ مِنَ الْعِلْمِ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. They ask you about ruh. You know, the Jews, they ask him about ruh. They want to know. They want him to tell them what is ruh. Because they know, if the Prophet told them what is the ruh, the essence of ruh and everything, then he's a liar. Because no one can describe what is ruh. No one. So, yas'alunaka 'anir ruh, they ask him about ruh. The Prophet said, Kulir ruh min amri rabbi. Ruh is the matter of Allah, of my Lord. Wa ma utitu min al-ilmi illa qalila. You are not given knowledge except very little about it. Very little you are given knowledge about ruh. But in spite of very little knowledge about ruh that we are given, the scholars have studied this very thoroughly from the prophetic hadith, from observing human being behavior and so on and so forth. So they came up with definitions or sort of explanation on the terms that they found used in the Quran and Hadith. So basically you will find these 4 terms used interchangeably. Sometimes this used, sometimes this used, sometimes this used. What is this? Actually, all these refer to the same thing, ruh. All these four terms refer to the entity which is called ar-ruh. But they have different names because of their different functions. They perform different functions. Functions. I think I explained this last time. Or modes. Sometimes they use it, modes. Qalb basically used when you are in the states of getting guidance. The Quran used the word qalb. Guidance, hidayah, intuition, illumination, ma'arifah, and so on and so forth. This is when you are at the state of this. Nafs is when you govern the body. You see, remember just now I told you, when soul govern the body, it is called nafs. It is the same soul actually, but the term used is different. I don't understand. You can. I'm Roskiman. I'm a father. When I go home, I'm a father. When I'm with my wife, my husband. With my children, I'm with my colleagues, I'm a staff. I'm a fellow friend. So with my mother, I'm a son. So basically, you can be the same entity, but with different functions, different modes. So just like ruh, when dealing with guidance, it's called qalb. When govern the body, is called nafs. When it use the intellect, thinking, reflecting, it is called akal. Fine. Now we come to the faculties of the soul. Soul has faculty. What does it mean? What does it mean soul has faculties? When your body, when your ruh inside your soul, inside your body and governs it, it has faculties. What is faculties? Some people use it powers. Some people use it quwwah, qudrah, faculties. Just like myself, I am full sorts of, alhamdulillah, perfect. I have hands, I have legs. So likewise, soul also have the same faculties. So from there you see that our soul is one soul, but there are several forces that are attracting it to the evil, to good. Your rational always want you to go to the good side of it. But there are also other forces, the bestial, the predatory, that attract you to do bad things. So you have to cover this. You have to command this under your rational soul, your rational faculty. The same soul, but rationalize it. The soul that is in the command of the truth, the intellect. You understand? Or you have problems? I think this is very good videos. I never made it a video, but I found it. So if you realize in yourself, there is a struggle between these forces inside you. At times you want to do good, at times you want to do bad. Why? Because of your soul. Because of your soul, because of the forces inside your soul. See? But for us to attain the equilibrium, it must be struggle. You mentioned just now. You must put struggle, mujahadah, inner struggle. It's not struggle outside here, you're not fighting with people, no. The jihad, that's why they use the term mujahadatun nafs. Mujahadatun nafs is inner struggle of the soul. So he gave, so I put it here, so many things here, about 10 maybe. Things, number 21, 10 most common diseases of the heart. Things that you always do, anger, envy, love of wealth, love of power. This is what Imam Ghazali mentioned. 10, but not exhaustive, many other things more, that you have inside you. The tendency to backbite, for example. the tendency is there. It's not from your intellect, it's not from your rational soul, it's from the evil soul inside you. From the evil faculty that forces you to do that, that incites you. So you have to minimize, you have to struggle against it. So he put an example just now for someone who is bakhil, who is stingy. What is the struggle for him? What is the medicine for him? For someone who is stingy, he will never be able to cure his stinginess even if he reads 1,000 books on how to be generous. You know? He read 1,000 books on how to be generous, he will not be able to be a generous person. In order for him to be generous, he must give. That is the medicine. Just like someone wants to swim, he read 100 books on how to swim. Do you think that he can swim? First you put your hand like this and then your leg like this. You just throw him inside the pond and a swimming pool and you see whether he can survive or not. He finished all the books, reading all 100 books written by all the, Olympic swimmers. Do you think that he can swim very well? No. He must practice it in the swimming pool. Sometimes he sinks, then up again. So that's just like our soul also. Our soul is the same thing. Our soul is the same thing. You must put into practice. You must struggle. To correct the soul is not by reading. This book of Imam Ghazali is the book on tasawwuf. The book of tasawwuf is not the book of knowledge. It's not for knowledge. It is for practice. It is for you to practice. What is the fruit of knowing all these things? The fruit of knowing all these things is your character is so good. Your soul is so pure. The purity of your soul, of your heart, transmits through your character. You look at the Prophet. He is the best man on earth, the most perfect man on earth. You look at how he behaved during his lifetime. No matter how people did to him, he never responded badly to them. Never. Because why? Because he controlled his soul. His soul is so pure. So people call it what? Golden heart? Right? Yes. So this is the thing that we have to struggle. I mentioned here a few things that we have to do it ourselves. You cannot ask your mom or your dad or your husband or wife to do that for you. You have to do it. You have to identify what are your weaknesses. What are the diseases of you, of your heart. Our spiritual heart, we have disease. We have problems. Look at ourselves. I have my own problems. Sometimes my wife told me, you easily get angry. I know. So I'm struggling not to be an angry person. You are this, you are that. Yes, Alhamdulillah, there's someone, I have my wife to tell me. But sometimes you don't have anyone to tell you. Because they feel shy, they don't want to break the relationship. You have to evaluate ourselves. Evaluate ourselves. This is what Umar said, Hasibu anfusakum. Judge yourself before you are judged. So Imam Ghazali mentioned anger, envy, love of wealth, love of power, love of the world, pride, arrogance, conceit, ostentation, riya, are some of the diseases of the heart. We don't want this. We want to get rid of this. And how to get rid of this? How to get rid of this is through acts of ibadah. Perform acts of ibadah. Pray. Not just pray 5 times a day. Pray also the rawatib, the nawafil. Salat duha, salat this, salat that, salat tahajjud, and all sorts of things. Pray, make a lot of pray. so that your heart is pure. Avoiding forbidden things and sin. Don't make sins. Because when you make sins, our heart is will be black. Look at the hadith, I put it there, numbers 22nd. Iza akhta'a, innal abda iza akhta'a khati'atan, nukitat fi qalbihi, nuqtatu sawda, atau kama qala. A servant, when he makes sins, then a dot is written or, appears on his spiritual heart. If he seek forgiveness, he make tawbah, then Allah will erase it. But if he continues to do that, then more dots, until the spiritual heart becomes black, hardened, died, and so on. I think we mentioned several types of heart, sick heart. Okay, so I think last one, I have 5 more minutes. Last one, we go to degrees of the soul. Degrees of the soul. Some scholars put there are 3 degrees of the soul. Some scholars, the last page, some scholars put 7 degrees of the soul. The worst degrees of the soul is the inciting soul. This is according to Sheikh Abdul Khalik Shabrawi. If you want to look more about this, you can read The Degrees of the Soul by Abdul Khalik Shabrawi. One is the inciting soul, the soul that incites you to do bad things. Ammara to bisu. This is called an-nafsul ammara bisu. And then you have reproachful soul, and then you have inspired soul, reproachful soul. What is the characteristic of this soul? Look at whether you belong to soul number 1, number 2, number 3. Look at yourself. What is the characteristic of the ammara bisu? Number 1 is called ammara bisu. The English is translating as the inciting soul to evil. Actually, there's no evil there. One is called nafs ammara. Okay, this is nafsu ammara. The soul becomes impure due to its inclination to material nature. It finds rest in appetites. Essentially, it follows every whim and desire. Oh, this soul is so bad, the worst soul. Buat maksiat and all sorts of dosa. Doesn't feel anything, enjoying. Until Satan said, it's worse than us. I don't have to do anything now. So don't have to inspire, don't have to whisper anything. It's worse than earth. So this is the soul, nafsul ammara. Another one is nafsu al-lawwama. Or translated as the reproachful soul. The soul at this stage is able to acknowledge truth as truth, falsehood as falsehood. It also recognizes its own blameworthy quality. It still has traces of inciting soul, and thus it isn't always successful in avoiding its calling. It takes its soul account to upbraid for not conforming to the dictates of divine law. This soul still make mistakes, still falls into sin. Subuh terlepas lagi. Bangun, qada, rasa bersalah. This is the soul. Don't you think that we are this soul? No? Or this one? Perhaps we are this soul. We miss prayer, we miss this, we membawang and all sorts of things. And then we regret, oh my God, please forgive me, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. But these 2 souls, you are not safe. This soul will still be in fire. No. Allah doesn't want you to come to Him with this soul. We have to cleanse our soul. Because this is not safe soul yet. And then you have nafsul mulhamah. The inspired soul, an-nafs, actually should be an-nafs. Okay? Inspired soul. The soul begins to enjoy worship. You begin to enjoy worship. And your lower desires, your bestial desires, is weakened now. Ada lagi. Nak buat maksiat tu ada lagi, tapi dah lemah dah. Weakened. Dah tak sejahat this one. Mulhamah. And last one, you have this one. This is called so you know now. This is an-nafs al-mutmainnah. Okay? This soul is not good, this soul is not good, this soul is not good. Not good meaning that you are not safe from hellfire. Na'udzubillah. So this is good. This is the soul. The minimum soul that we have to attain is the mutmainnah. What is the Quranic verse saying about masa mutmainnah? Ya ayyatuhan nafsul mutmainnah irji'i ila rabbiki radiyatan mardiyah fadkhuli fi ibadi wadkhuli jannati. So Allah is pleased with this soul. Because why? Look at here. Some of the science, Sheikh Sabrawi says that the wayfarer does not deviate at all from the legal injunction. No haram at all, whatsoever, no haram. Take pleasures only the behavior pattern of the chosen Prophet ﷺ. Pleasures doing sunnah. And find serenity in only following his sayings. So you don't complain about what Allah's injunctions. Some people complain, alah nak kena semain subuh letih lah. That's not mutmainnah type soul. Alah nak kena tudung lagi panas-panas. That's not type of mutmainnah. Mutmainnah will enjoy worshipping Allah and doesn't involve in any single haram things in his life or her life. And then you have other also, the contented soul, nafsu radiyah, mardiyah, and kamilah. Radiyah, mardiyah, and kamilah. Sorry?
Go back to the number one.
Come again?
If they say we already at the now al-ma'inah, can it back to the number one?
Oh yes, it's possible. Even the wali falls down.
So how do you want to force that also? Because we want Jalan, like trouble.
You know, this is what the Prophet says. We have to make dua. Ya muqallibal qulub, tsabbit qulubana ala dinik. Oh Allah, that make the hearts changes firm, still our heart. Don't change our heart. But Allah won't change it if you don't do something bad. If you do make sins, then it won't be changed. Allah is not zalim. He will not change. If you are already at the stage of mutmainnah, then istiqamah. Why people from all these nafs fall or fell? Because they are not istiqamah. They let away. Iblis came in for some reasons. They follow what the Iblis whisper. And because of that, they fell into their trap. I think that's all. It's already 10 o'clock. I don't want to take your time. I know you're working tomorrow, and I'm also working tomorrow. Wallahu alam. May Allah accept our action, our presence tonight here, and Allah regard as our ibadah, seeking knowledge to be closer to Him, and may Allah purify our heart, our soul. There are so many books written about by many scholars. You have Syekh Hamzah Yusuf wrote a book on purification of the soul. You have Imam Ghazali also wrote books on this. So I cannot really explain to you in details because we don't have much time. You can have this book also, Al-Ghazali on Disciplining of the Soul from Ihya Ulumuddin. It's a very thick book. It's not 1 hour reading book. So there are many books actually, but anyway, at least tonight you have some idea, gist, and the most important thing is we put what we know into practice. That's the strength what we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that each day when we are closer to our graveyard, we are closer to Allah as well, insyaAllah. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa baraka wasallam. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Allahumma anfa'na bima 'allamtana wa 'allimna ma yanfa'una wa zidna ilman bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilaik. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa baraka wasallam. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Taqabbalallahu.